Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to just show you guys real quick my new car I got recently. I traded my truck in a few weeks ago, went with a small Honda Civic hatchback, the new Honda Civic hatchback that came out first year being released here in the US. Just going to show you guys the car real quick and a few reasons why I traded in my truck and decided to go with the car. Alright guys, now like I mentioned, I just recently picked up this Honda Civic here a couple of weeks ago. I went with the Civic Sport Touring model, which is the highest end Civic hatchback that they made this year. Of course, I got my couple Team Plastic Planet stickers on here, got to represent the team. I went with this car. Basically, I went with the car because, you know, I recently sold a piece of property here that I owned here near my home. You know, I had a hunting property here that I, you know, pretty much needed a truck for because I was commonly going up there with, you know, mowers and stuff and needed a reason to haul bigger equipment around. I sold that property recently, so I really wouldn't have been using my truck for anything more than just to haul around my bicycles and to go to bike races. So I thought, you know what, there's no sense in me continuing to pay basically 3 times the money in gas and twice the payment to do the same thing I could do with a car. So I recently swapped down to a Honda Civic car, and just wanted to show you guys real quick. The car gets awesome gas mileage. I've been driving the car now for about 3 weeks. Get like 42 miles to the gallon highway. I tell you what, it gets great gas mileage. The car runs really well, and it fits my bike actually pretty easily. Now I just kind of want to show you guys the hatchback here. I went with the hatchback because, as you can see, it gives a lot of room in here. I've got the back seats folded down. I mean, I'm a single guy, no wife, no kids, no nothing, so I'll pretty much leave the back seats down all the time, honestly. And I just threw down an old blanket so I don't, you know, get grease and stuff. In fact, you see I already spilt some Gatorade, you know, on there from my water bottles out of my bike. So I pretty much just threw the blanket down so I don't get, you know, grease and stuff all over my car. But basically, the hatchback here, these seats fold down, and as you guys can see, get a ton of room back here. I could honestly probably get a couple of bikes back here if I really wanted to. I also have a rack. I did get a rack for the car. I'm going to show you guys that rack here when I get some time. I actually haven't even had time to put the rack on the car yet, see if it's going to work. I went with a Seasucker rack. I'll show you guys that in a later video, and I'll do a future review on that at some point. Show you guys that rack system. So I will be able to accommodate at least 2, maybe even 3 bikes with the car. I'd be a little bit cramped on on room for wheels and other stuff if I was going on a long trip, but I should be able to take 2 bikes and a bunch of gear regardless pretty easily. But I love the hatchback, gives me plenty of room, and so far so good. I like the car. And now I'm just going to show you guys the interior real quick. I mean, it's just basically a basic Honda Civic if you've ever seen one. Alright guys, now we're in the interior of the car here. I mean, just a real standard Honda Civic, you know, 4-door hatchback. I mean, it's just got your basic you know, your basic car. I mean, I'm not going to show you too much about the interior of the car, but like I said, a couple of reasons why I went with the Honda Civic, got rid of my truck, is the gas mileage. I mean, I'm going on all these bike races I do, I have to travel like 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 hours away to go to these bike races because I don't have any races really anywhere near where I live. Plus, the team I belong to, Team Plastic Planet, the local group ride there is an hour away from me, so it's like I'm just going to be commonly driving, you know, at least a couple of 2 to 6 hours to do all kinds of bike races and bike group rides. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to be using my truck really for a whole lot other than hauling around the bikes with. So I swapped the truck, got the car, like it, love the gas mileage, like I said, like over 40 miles to the gallon. The payment's a lot less. I mean, obviously, you know, this car stickered for like just over $29,000. I mean, that truck I had was a pretty expensive F-150. That was like a $61,000 truck. Just didn't need that, honestly. So I downsized. Glad I did so. I mean, yeah, I can't haul around all the stuff I used to, but you know what? I'll make do. in the end, I think this was a good thing to do for me to get the car. You know, Hondas are known to run forever. I've had a couple Hondas in the past. Like the cars, they ride pretty good. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is the fuel mileage and the reliability of the Honda. So really happy I got the car. I'll give you guys a quick overall look at the exterior here. I mean, you know, here's the exterior view of the car. See, a real sharp looking car. I mean, this car came with the 18-inch alloy wheels. The front end, Honda updated the front end. You know, it's a little bit more aggressive looking. Just a really sharp looking car. Of course, it's got the sunroof on it, the moonroof on it. But you know, just a really good looking car. Pretty much went with the white. I've always liked white. But I think the black on the white looks pretty good. And alright guys, there you have it. Just a quick look at my new Honda Civic and a couple of reasons why I decided to swap vehicles. And as always guys, I appreciate the support in the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video.